So today we're going to be cleaning some incredibly weedy block paving. I don't know if it's ever been cleaned before. I'm sure it has at some point. So hopefully it should be a really nice transformation. We're also going to be cleaning her front sitting area slash path. It depends what you want to call it. It is at the front of a house, so it's not technically, I suppose, a patio. I'm going to be grinding them out and I'm going to be repointing them today as well using flow point. It's a fairly nice day today, so we should get everything done, including the sanding, if it stays dry, which it says it will do. But at this time of year, we're in the middle of autumn. If you can see outside, I'll show you quickly. You see that tree up there? See all the colours of the leaves? So, you know, we're right at that point where it's all changing, all the leaves are falling off the trees. So we'll see how far we get. Okay, let's get on with it. It's all clean over there, the joints have all been cleared out as best I can. To make it a bit easier on myself, I do half the bag of flow point at a time. So I use half the water, just because I find when you're working on your own to try and push it around, sometimes it can get away from you a little bit, and by the time you've reached the end, the beginning bit's completely dry. And with this as well, guys, you've got to play it a little bit by eye. So there's a guide on the bag which you should definitely follow if you've never done it before, but I know what the consistency should look like. It's a little bit like a cake batter. Okay, when you're mixing it with the paddle, you start to notice whether it needs a little bit more water or a little bit less, especially when you're judging half the bag. I'm just doing it by eye, I'm not measuring it out. I'm just going to tip out what I think is half the bag. So you've got to watch the water basically. You might need to add a little bit, but we start off with a little bit less and then we add a little bit more if need be. Usually I find after I've mixed it for about a minute, I can tell whether it's going to need a bit more water. Now it says to mix this for 3 to 5 minutes depending on your weather conditions. 3 minutes is really enough, to be honest, especially with only half the bag. So half the bag going in. Alright, so literally I look at where it is currently, right up the top here, and I put my hands roughly here and I dump out the rest, okay? Slowly fold the bag so no more comes out. Okay, and here we go. Just scraping the bottom to make sure it's all incorporated, so I think that's okay, I'm happy with that. And now you've got to move to a relatively quick surface. Okay. And now guys, it's just a waiting game. So you can see what I've done, you can see where I've gotten up to. So when I start again, I'm going to start from here and work my way around. Obviously the other half will probably get me the majority of the way, so I may need to open another bag just to do the last bit. Yeah, we're going to let this sit on here for probably about another, I guess about 10 minutes. It's not a very hot day, but that's still like completely jelly, so you want to wait for it to start to go semi-hard, so that it's sort of like, you know, on its way, and then you rinse it off. Now a top tip when doing this, guys, is that if you rinse it at the 45-degree angle, it does leave a lot more in the joint. Sometimes you'll get to a point where you're just going to have to remove a little bit off the top layer, but if you want to get a more even finish, then that is definitely the way to do it. You do it at a 45-degree angle, that way it gets rid of majority of the surface and leaves what's in the joint. So if I show you, can you see it moving under my finger there? Still a bit jelly, but we're getting there. See, if I come over this side, I'll show you. It's not so jelly. Okay, not so much movement there. So I think about another 5 minutes. Alright guys, that's all done for the second batch. Managed to get it all the way to the end. See, I've got some leakage coming out the ends there, what I probably should have taped up. So my plan is to get the driveway started here. I'll probably get up to roughly about where that line of the tree is coming across, because I don't want to come too far this way, because I don't want to disturb what's going on over there. So we're going to start here and get all this bit here done, so we can get a head start, because time's getting on. Alright. This is all done. I'm not going to show you that until it's completely dry. All the foam's gone. I've got to come back tomorrow to resand because the sun's been sort of in and out all day. We're going to start on this section now. Probably going to take me about 45 minutes, I'd say, because it's quite weedy.